officials at the Kosi Bay border post with Mozambique are battling with the high number of people screening for coronavirus as they cross the border into South Africa. Now, this, of course, is leading to long queues. Mwande Keswa is there for us today. Let's find out from him what's happening at the moment. Mwande, so what are you noticing? What's happening in those queues at the moment?
Good morning, Iveka. Well, it's a different picture from that which we saw yesterday. If I may start there just for a background. Yesterday there were there were two queues rather. One of the queues was for people waiting the results, and one of the queues was for people who were waiting to be tested. The queues were quite long. There was a lot of frustration among the people that were here, holiday makers returning back to South Africa from Mozambique. Now, when they were exiting the country or leaving the country, they had to produce test results that were not older than 3 days, and there were no issues. However, upon return, Mozambicans allowed or accepted test results that were not older than 14 days. However, South Africa doesn't accept those because we have the 72-hour protocol, and therefore South Africans needed to be tested here at the facility or this mobile laboratory which is behind us, and a lot of people were left frustrated. Some of them had to return to Mozambique to book accommodation, and some opted to book accommodation in South Africa using the various lodges that are available here at Kosi Bay. The mobile laboratory then returned today, and what I can tell, or what I can see, if I may also move out of picture, is that the lines are moving quite fast in comparison to yesterday. The first test was done at about 9 a.m. There was a family that we spoke to which was here yesterday. They had to return. Unfortunately for them, they've already received the results and they've made their way back to Johannesburg. So they're quite happy that their frustration will be a thing of the past. But as I say, the queues are moving much quicker. There are far fewer bodies than those which we saw yesterday.
But want to just clarify for us this actual screening or testing process. What exactly is happening there? I mean, are they just firstly starting with screening where you're checking somebody's temperature, you're asking them a couple of questions, you know, do you have a sore throat, do you have trouble breathing, all of the questions that we all face even when we come into work here in this building. And then if something raises a red flag, do they actually go for a COVID test, or are people actually having that proper COVID test? And what's the waiting period? How long are they having to wait? You told us about the one family, but what happens if somebody does test positive? What then?
So, Iveka, the first part in terms of the wait, people will wait anywhere between 30 minutes to 45 minutes for their test results. They're using the rapid test, so the tests do give them back their results quite quickly and efficiently. The backlog, however, was in the form of those waiting to do their tests. One of the things they cited is that if your family has 10 members, you'll be given one number. Let's say you're number 45 in the queue. Each individual member won't get a different number, they'll get one number, so they'd all have to receive their tests, then move over, and then another group, and so forth. So because of that, the queues were quite long. Also, the issue around personnel, there's only one mobile laboratory, so there was quite an influx of people returning to South Africa. In terms of the screening protocols, when people arrive or attempt to cross the border, they already have to submit their test results. Over and above that, there will be the normal screening process, as you rightfully said, the one that employers also typically undertake. There will be that screening process that is done. Also, if you visit the Home Affairs offices here as well, there's also the screening protocol that is also observed there. So it's very rigorous, and they're ensuring that they're complying with the regulations and ensuring that people are kept safe by ensuring that they follow those protocols. So that's something that is definitely being observed here at the Kosi Bay border post.
All right, and you know, the big issue we saw pre-Christmas, not only, well, this was just opened recently, but places like Badbridge, the issues where facilities, what's there for people who are in queues. What are you seeing? Are they being adequately provided for those who do have a bit of a longer wait than others?
Well, what I can say is, from the people that I've spoken to, Iveka, they were frustrated. Some of their frustrations emanate from the long waiting times. the lack of shelter, because it is quite hot, or it has been quite hot. Also, the inability to go out and purchase food, refreshments, and so forth. So a lot of the frustration that people spoke of was around those factors, and also the fact that once the clinic closes at 5 o'clock, the clinic does its last test at 3:30. Results are back by 5. They close shop at 5, but the border itself would be still open. The border would only close at about 9 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. And they're frustrated by that, saying that then it means they now have to go and book accommodation again, or either possibly sleep here. And even when they arrive here early in the morning, the mobile clinic only arrived after 8 and did the first test at about 9 a.m. So they feel as though they're not being adequately or sufficiently thought of and provided for in terms of while they're waiting. Is it comfortable enough for them? Are there places or chairs for them to sit? So typically those aren't things that they're able to utilize. They have to stand, sit under a tree, and just endure and wait. But they are able to go and purchase food from the surrounding shops that are here. So that alleviates some of the pressure. But really from their part, it's a lot of frustration.
Well, Mawande, I know that many people choose to keep these results confidential, but if by any chance you've managed to get your hands on some of this information, any idea how many people, if any, have actually tested positive at that station?
I don't yet have any information as to how many people have tested positive or negative, but one of the things that are a bit murky is if you do test positive, it would not seem as though you are sent back. You'll still go through the border post. So there isn't much clarity with regards to what transpires or what happens once those test results do come out positive, because you are a South African citizen and they have to allow you into the country. However, you're typically not allowed to exit the country if those test results come back positive.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Thanks very much, Mawande Keswa at Kosi Bay there at the border with Mozambique. Now, looking